of things in dentistry that don't have a lot of good research to support them, we always have. It seems like we take products and techniques. If you just look at treatment of periodontal disease, now I'm showing my age here, but you can go back and you can look at Perio Protect. You know, the hydrogen peroxide, tetracycline gel in a tray, supposed to cure periodontal disease. Well, hell, if it did, none of us would have to buy a laser, would we? There's absolutely no evidence to support that, not one clinical trial. I can remember from people, well, the Qand A technique. What happened to that? It didn't hold up over time. There was a guy in Omaha, Nebraska, some years ago that was injecting ZZE in the pockets, let it set up, and then he was pulling it out. And he was getting wonderful results. Yeah, he was doing curettage, but he just didn't know it. The anaformin I mentioned earlier, curettage. There are all these techniques that we had experimented with, human experimentation, that we have no evidence to support even doing it, no animal studies. We get ahead of ourselves, and then we do them for a while, they get advertised, and then they disappear. Remember the old H.A. granules, Calcitech? What happened to those? Perioglass. You know, Bill Ploy used to call it broken windshields. What happened to that? All these things came out on the market, one or two papers done that said they didn't work, and then they disappeared. We got it reversed. Do it up front, do the studies, and then put it on the market. But we don't do that. So I don't think it's malpractice. I'm not sure it's good practice, but I don't think it goes that far. Possibility that the stimulatory, and there is a stimulatory effect of lasers. I mean, physical therapists have been using them for years to treat tendon and ligament problems. So there's a certain amount of stimulation there from lasers, but it's pretty much wavelength specific. And the NDEAG just happens to be one of those wavelengths where that occurs. They use that a lot in physical therapy. Yeah, Anna?
I've had a lot of students, USC grads, hygiene students, who have called me and said, the general dentist is forcing me to use the laser either on every patient or on every bleeding pocket site. And they didn't feel comfortable with that because of the amount of money that was being charged. They felt ethically it was not right. So I told them, I challenged them to do their own studies, so to speak, and just do scaling and root planing as well as they can on one half of the mouth, and do scaling and root planing plus laser on the other half. Now this is anecdotal. The very good students who are excellent at root planing said there's no difference. They left those practices and I helped them to get jobs with other dentists or periodontists. The ones who said it makes a difference, I love it, it's so much better, and this is anecdotal, they happen to be not good students. They were not good at root planing. I almost could predict maybe that they would like it, and they also happened to like the money because they were getting extra money for the treatment. Isn't that right? They got an increased salary or a per patient per treatment bonus for the laser. And so they were making good money and they just rationalized it or whatever.
Yeah.
But do you think it has to do with that, with the
Well,
technique?
I think there is a lot of that. That's confirmational bias. You want it to work because if it does, you can charge more, you're going to make more money. That's confirmational bias, the epitome of it. I think it's not only unethical, and I alluded to the ethical issues here. If I can do a scaler and antibiotics, the same thing you can do with a laser, get the same results, which is basically what all this is showing.
Right.
How can you justify charging more money than what I charge? There's a hell of an ethical issue there. You don't charge by instrumentation, you charge by treatment and result. Dentists who do that, routinely do that microbial reduction therapy on maintenance. That's malpractice, particularly if they're charging for it. Plain and simple. It is absolutely no evidence to show that it's any better. So if you're doing the maintenance therapy anyway, and then you're running a laser around it, you're doing that to jack up the fee, and that's unethical and that's malpractice. It's over-treatment of the patient.
Exactly, that's what's happening out there.